Well, I hope you like roller coasters because yesterday we rode one, with Bitcoin and Ethereum making sharp moves higher before giving back half their gains. There's also some big news for Ethereum as a major e-commerce vendor adds support for NFTs. All that and more next. Alright, let's get started looking at Bitcoin. As you recall, we had an inverse head and shoulders forming, and we were starting to break out of it a couple days ago. And our target was all the way up around just short of $36,000. And as we saw yesterday, prices really took off, rocketing all the way up to $40,600, easily reaching our price target for the inverse head and shoulders. So check, that price target was met. But we really found ourselves in this rocket ship going higher here. Again, prices soared, 15% in the span of a few hours here. This is the hourly chart. Only to come falling back down last night, giving up about half the gains in a very short period of time too. But actually, this is quite healthy, as you can see. We moved really quickly, way above the EMA ribbon here, and this is the 1 hour chart. So a retest of this EMA ribbon was perfectly healthy and made good sense. Now, a lot of people are speculating that Amazon caused this move, that there was talk about Amazon adopting Bitcoin in the short term, and that's what propelled the prices way higher here. And that, maybe that was a factor. And also then there was news last night that Amazon was in fact not planning to adopt support for Bitcoin purchases on their platform. And some people speculate that's why the price went down. Whether the news caused this or not, though, the fact is this was a quick move up. We needed to retrace a little bit. We needed to test support. We did. And now we're bouncing back off that on the 1 hour. On the 4 hour, you can see we're still way above the EMA ribbon. We've barely tested it. We came down and, came close to it. But again, this looks really healthy for such a quick move up. And if we look at the daily chart, again, you can see we easily met our price target. We zoomed way up. We've come back down a little bit, but we're still well above the EMA ribbon. And again, just being above the EMA ribbon is huge for Bitcoin because we hadn't been above this level since May 11th. So the fact that we cleared above it a couple days ago and we're remaining above it is huge, huge news and a sign that we really are reversing things in this market. So taking a longer term view of the daily chart here, again, you can see we broke out of this descending triangle pattern a few days ago. We also broke out of the triangle that had formed on the RSI as well. So nice healthy break above. As I mentioned, we're well above the EMA ribbon. And the ultimate price target for this breakout would be way up around 51K. So that's our ultimate price target up here. But we do have to deal with some resistance here. So right around here, you can see lots of points of resistance here around the $41,500 mark. We got some resistance, and you can see we sort of almost touched that and came back down again. So this is going to be tough to get through potentially. We may see some more consolidation here before we have the strength to move higher. But ultimately it is just a matter of time. And again, our price target from this breakout is way up around 51K. The other thing to watch out for here is we're above the EMA ribbon. It's still a negative EMA ribbon, meaning the 20 EMA is below the 50 EMA, but you can see that we're starting to tighten up here. And so if we can keep price above these levels for a while, we should start to see a flipping of this EMA ribbon from red to green. So it looks more like this over here, which is ultimately what we want as well. So overall, really positive momentum for Bitcoin. Definitely a roller coaster ride yesterday. But it's not sustainable for the price to go up that fast, that quickly, and some sort of correction down from that extreme high was necessary, really. So we're catching our breath a little bit here for Bitcoin. I suspect we will see some movement higher, but also don't be surprised if we see some, consolidation at some steadying of the price here in this sort of range here before we have the strength to move a little bit higher here. Taking a look at the price action chart for Bitcoin for this year, you can see we're still in this consolidation box. So even though we've had this nice move up, we're still within this box until we break this 41, 42 level. We're still technically in this consolidation zone. So even though we seem to have turned the corner, we can't be completely confident that we can resume the march higher. All right, some really big news for Ethereum. Shopify announced they're going to allow all of their customers to start selling NFTs directly on their platform. So NFTs are non-fungible tokens primarily used on the Ethereum network. So this is really big news for Ethereum in terms of mainstream adoption. Now, Shopify is probably the biggest e-commerce platform out there. So for them to support this for all their merchants means that, again, access to NFTs is really taking a big step up. The fact that any merchant now can easily sell NFTs directly through this platform is just huge, huge news for NFTs and Ethereum indirectly. All right, taking a look at Ethereum, as you recall, we broke out of this falling wedge pattern and we met our price target there. And then we formed this bull flag and we easily met our price target there as well. And like Bitcoin, Ethereum had a huge run up yesterday, only to retrace a good part of those gains and then is now bouncing back up. But if we put our EMA ribbon on here, you can see again that this is all a very healthy correction here. So on the 4-hour chart, we came down and we retested our lows on the ribbon and are now bouncing back above it. So when you see these sorts of quick run-ups, having a test of the EMA ribbon is very, very healthy. If we look at this on the daily chart, again, you see we're above the ribbon, and in fact, the ribbon has switched from negative to positive. So the 20 EMA is now above the 50 EMA. And on the daily, we're well above the ribbon entirely. We came down and came close to testing the top of the ribbon here on the daily chart, but Ethereum just looks very, very bullish to me overall. Now, taking a longer view of Ethereum, this is the daily chart stretching back to January here. You can see that we've been in this rising wedge pattern for most of the year. Briefly, back in May, we sort of went above the wedge here, and we shot up really quickly to 4,000. So that's kind of an anomaly above the wedge, but then we quickly dropped back down, and then the last month and a half or so, we've been below this wedge here. So again, this green, we went above it. Recently, we've been below it, and the question is, are we going to get back into this rising wedge pattern? And as you can see, we had lots of touch points here on the bottom of this channel, right? So this orange line is definitely now resistance going forward for Ethereum. But some things to look at here. So we have this yellow trend line here. And you can see we broke above this yesterday. So that's a positive sign. And then we've come back down. Now we're testing the top of this support line, right? So this is, again, looking really, really good. But even more interesting, we have what looks to be a really nice W pattern forming here. So, W pattern, which is bullish. So if we can break above this neckline here, the price target would be up around $3,000. So what I'm looking for right now is to see if we can break above the neckline for this really nice W pattern here forming for Ethereum. So that would mean, really depending on where you draw this, having a, let's actually go to the 1-hour chart. So we can zoom in a little bit on this and get the neckline properly drawn. Yeah, so I think what we want to look for is an hourly close above $2,400, and you know, to really confirm, let's make sure it's a 4-hour close above the $2,400 mark. And if we can reach that, then we're looking at a $3,000 price point for Ethereum. So again, Ethereum's looking really, really bullish overall. It's above the daily EMA ribbon, and that EMA ribbon is now positive. We're approaching a potential breakout of a really strong W pattern, which could take us up to $3,000. So Ethereum looks really healthy, really bullish, and let's see how this plays out. If you found this video interesting, please do like it. Please subscribe to get notifications. Tell your friends, share it. On Twitter, look for me at Hearts Charts, where I'll be posting more frequently. That'll do it for today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks. Bye.